Hello, students of the short story. Stephen Crane's The Blue Hotel. It's a good story. It's a little wacky, right? It's a little wacky, but it has a very strong message, and I'm gonna break it down, put it all back together for you, and you're gonna know The Blue Hotel. But trivia moment. Stephen Crane has something in common with all of you. He never took a remote learning class, but he did go to school in Columbia County. Yes, there used to be a college in Claverick, New York. So if you're from Greene County, that's outside of Hudson to the east. And there was a college there, a big Greek Revival building, which is long gone. And Stephen Crane went there, and so did the feminist and early birth control advocate Margaret Sanger. So two famous people went there. So trivia. So The Blue Hotel is really a terrific story, and it has, revolves around a handful of characters, and I just want to run through each character a little bit here for you. We have Scully, the innkeeper. And Scully is a stereotype, right? Scully is a stereotype of an Irish innkeeper. He tells a story to the Swede. He calms the Swede into staying. He's insincere. He offers the Swede whiskey. So Scully is playing a part. We all play parts, don't we? I'm playing the part of a college English professor right now. You're playing the part of a student. There's certain codes and certain behaviors that go along with that. I'm a different person, a little bit, as a husband, as a stepdad, or as a town historian. I don't vary a lot because I'm always kind of me, but every role we have a part to play, and we play it, right? Scully's playing the part of an innkeeper, so that comes back later. Then we have the Swede. He believes in stereotypes. He's read too many dime store novels about the Wild West. And if you're in my history class, we talked about this. The misperception, the false belief that the West, Nebraska, Wyoming even, Colorado, that whole area of the West, Nebraska is really Midwest, but that it's some wild place full of gunslingers, and if you go out there in the 1880s, you're gonna get in a gunfight and get killed, or maybe over gambling, in a saloon. No, the Midwest, the history of the Midwest is white people moving out there, setting up farms, plowing fields, growing stuff, Native Americans getting cheated out of their land. Occasionally there's a fight, a lot of bison got killed, but it's not like was presented in dime store novels, cheap novels that were exciting, or Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, which was a live extravaganza with Indians and cowboys and sharpshooters and bison. And it traveled all over the world. And then, of course, we have movies, westerns, right? And all of these things promote the myth that the West was some wild and lawless place. The Swede believes that, even back when the West was still, the West. It was still the time period that we think of as the Wild West, even though it was really more in the Mild West. So the Swede goes out there believing that, right? And guess what? That's what he creates, right? So we'll just jump to the point here. The Swede goes out there to the Nebraska, the West, the Wild West, and he thinks he's going to get killed. He thinks people are going to cheat him at gambling. He doesn't really get cheated at gambling. And you know what? That's exactly what happens, right? It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you will fail, it increases your chances of failing. If you believe you're going to succeed, you're more likely to succeed. Truth. Scully the innkeeper, playing the part. Swede expects people to be playing their part. Johnny, the son of Scully, he's a self-centered, he's immature, he cheats at cards and it wasn't even for money. He cries, right? So he's very, very self-centered. Maybe stereotype of a child. Then we have the cool Easterner. I guess that's in some ways our author, Stephen Crane, who is from the East. Smart, right? He has traveled. He understands people. He fails to act, right? That's a big deal. At the end of the story, the Easterner fails to take action and say Johnny was cheating. And because of that, two people, one man, the Swede, winds up dead. And then we have the cowboy, who's also self-centered and not real bright, and he encourages the fighting. So he's kind of playing the role of a cowboy, although he knows, he's the one who says, this ain't even the Wild West, this ain't Wyoming, this is Nebraska. And the Easterner says, it's not even that wild out there in Wyoming. And then the gambler, right? The gambler, who is sort of this cool, sophisticated guy who everybody likes. He just cheats ranchers and farmers out of their money legally by gambling. But he follows the code and he plays the role. Somebody attacks him and he's got a weapon and kills the Swede. So we have all of these characters who fail to connect throughout the story. They fail to connect with each other. They can't read each other because they're all playing some part. Okay. Look at that beautiful cat. Can you see him? Look at that cat. He's beautiful. Simon, you're on camera. What do you have to say, buddy? Huh, bud? Keep him quiet. He's listening. He's listening. He's getting his 3 credits. He might graduate. He's got to pass math. Simon has trouble with math. Join the club, buddy. Join the club. Okay. Stephen Crane. Stephen Crane. Yes. So Scully, it's got big ideas. The town here that they're in is going to take off. They're going to get a streetcar. He's really excited about the future of Romper, right? The future of Romper. All right, looking at the plot. So the a train comes into town, and Scully runs over to meet the train and kind of pleasantly but forcibly grab everyone's bags and make sure they come to stay in his hotel. And he gets them all in there, the Easterner, the Swede, and the cowboy. And they get talking, and then they're playing, and they have the board on their knees, so they're all connected by that game, right? They're all connected by that game. And the Swede starts saying stuff that really doesn't make any sense, right? He imagines that someone is going to get killed, right? He asks about killings. I suppose there's been a good many men killed in this room. And Johnny says, what in the hell are you talking about? Oh, you know what I mean, all right. So he's expecting to get killed, right? I don't know why he's gone out there, but he's expecting to get killed. Of course, that's what happens. I don't understand you, Johnny says. And then the Swede looks to the Easterner, who's, again, the stereotype of an Easterner. He's very smart, but reserved, kind of cold, but very, very observant. The Swede picks up that Johnny's cheating at their card game here and accuses him of that. That's actually a little later in the story. But they have this weird conversation about gonna kill you, right? And Scully comes in and he wants peace because he's running the business. He doesn't want a bad Yelp review or TripAdvisor. Well, you know, he doesn't want a bad reputation. He wants his guests to all be good. There was no internet back when this story is set in the 1890s. Okay, don't make that mistake. So the Swede's gonna leave. And Scully doesn't want that to happen. So the Scully follows the Swede up to his room, and Scully plays and connects with him, and Scully shows the picture of his daughter who died, and Scully talks about his other son who's away in law school in Lincoln, and he sort of tells this sad story, playing on the Swede's sympathy, trying to connect with the Swede. But it might all be true, but it's very insincere. And then, of course, he gets the Swede whiskeyed up, right? So the guy's already volatile, but here, have some whiskey. See if that calms him down. It doesn't, right? It doesn't. And you know what? We'll pick up there with part 2.